Okay, good evening, everyone. Please rise. Welcome to the March 18th, 2025 legislative meeting of the town of Oxney. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Meyer,
Present.
Councilmember Fields Twill,
Here.
Councilmember Manicchio,
Here.
Councilmember Weiss,
Present.
Supervisor Feldman.
Present.
Okay, we are going to be having a departmental report from the assessor, Michael Fawasier.
Hello, good evening, everyone. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick, see if this works. All right, can everyone see?
Yep.
All right, wonderful. All right, well, good evening. Thank you for the next few minutes. I'll actually use this as an opportunity, this departmental report, to discuss the status of the 2025 assessment roll. As many know, we're doing a full reappraisal this year. And I just wanted to remind everyone what that really means in the context of what we typically do from year to year during what we call update years or annual updates. So 2020 was our last full reappraisal. It is a full rebaselining of all the comparables that we use to value residential property, all the cost and land tables that we derive value from. And this is a massive undertaking, and it's been going on for many months now. So in 2025, and again, this has been going on since mid-24, we've gone out on building permits and we've reviewed the market. We're looking at our data quality. We've sent out INE mailers, returned many hundreds have come back. It was very helpful to have that information. We've been partnering with Tyler on improving the models that are used to derive comparable sales for our subject properties. They just released all of those comparables to us, and we're actually undergoing a pretty comprehensive review to make sure that when we're assigning an assessed value to any given subject property, any given parcel, that we're doing so carefully, thoughtfully, and not driving a whole lot of volatility, okay, unless we're really correcting data or rebaselining something that had been, let's say, previously over or undervalued. We've derived new income and expense information. And of course, the street level imagery project, I'm happy to report the cutouts of that street level imagery project have been made available to us, and we're going to try to update our primary photos for all properties in town. This way, homeowners, property owners in general, they know that we have up-to-date and accurate images of their property that give us at least a general idea of the exterior condition, use, and utility of the property. In the next couple of weeks, we'll finalize this review, and we're going to be doing some informal hearings. I'll talk about that in just a moment. So we're pretty much on target. This was a graphic you might have seen from an earlier presentation I gave in 2024. Again, data collection, the street side imaging, data mailers, all of that, right? We wanted to get the informal reviews started sometime in March, April. We're still on that path. It's going to be looking more like April. We'll be doing those informal hearings over the phone. More information on this will be coming in the next 2 weeks or so as values are mailed to property owners, preliminary values, that is. Nothing that they have to grieve, but if property owners feel that the preliminary assessments are not something that they understand, or if they want clarification or they disagree, we're going to give them a window of opportunity to avoid the grievance process. And in advance of the tentative roll in June, they can reach out to our representatives for informal reviews, hopefully in April and early May. So we're still on target to keep to our June publication of the tentative assessment roll. So as I said, the commercial properties, they've largely been complete. We're in the middle of reviewing the town outside, the village of Ossining, and the village of Briarcliff Manor, 1, 2, and 3 family homes. We'll be going out on permits again. The last time the assessor's office went out on permits, it was the fall. A lot has happened since then. We want to make sure we capture the use and construction of all real property as of taxable status date, which for this year is May 1st, 2025. Of course, some important dates to keep in mind. We have an exemption filing deadline and a taxable status deadline of May 1st, a tentative assessment roll. I believe June 1st falls on a Sunday, so we'll likely publish it the next business day. And of course, grievance day this year, it's always the third Tuesday in June. It falls on the 17th. This information is available on our website as well, along with grievance applications and a little bit more about the grievance process if folks want to avail themselves of that administrative review. In addition to all the valuation work the assessor's office is doing with Tyler, we also are administering many exemptions. We've sent out over 500 senior citizen exemption renewals. We're starting to receive those back. As folks complete their 2024 returns, we encourage them not to wait till the last minute. If they could kindly get these things into us on the earlier side, it gives our review team the ability to take a look at everything they've provided and get back to them if we need supplemental information. This just makes sure that we have a smooth administration of their exemptions. We certainly don't want anyone to lose an exemption. So anything we send out to the public, we just encourage everyone to just focus on that, because what we're asking for is generally required by law. And as long as we get that information, we can likely approve and continue granting exemptions. We did this with senior citizen, low-income disabled, the volunteer firefighters and ambulance renewals, they're coming in, not-for-profit, clergy, and of course, STAR is always going on an ongoing basis. So that's still occurring in our office. If anyone has questions about anything they've recently received from my office, they should definitely give us a call. That's, of course, also including the latest mailing, which over 9,000 parcels received, a 4x5 postcard. This is the special notice that we send out every year around March, just making every residential property homeowner aware of the senior citizen exemption. If it doesn't apply to you, perhaps it's applicable to someone you know. It's our goal to try to get every eligible qualifying senior the benefits that they deserve. So if you think your income is over 58,400 and you're not sure if you qualify, my advice is apply anyway. And we can tell you what your income is based on the rules that we've been provided by the state of New York. And sometimes people who think their income is too high, well, they end up qualifying for 5 or 10% assessment reduction. So we do encourage people to step forward and engage with our office. Some details on exemptions. There have been a number of things that have changed statutorily, some laws that have been passed by Westchester County, some new codes that have been adopted. Westchester County has decided that they will no longer, for the purposes of the county bill, they will no longer be considering Social Security income in calculating the senior citizen income. So by that, I mean, you may not qualify as a homeowner for a great benefit off your town or your village, but the county has gone ahead and removed Social Security in its entirety from the calculation of income. The reason I bring this up is because it's a change over last year, but also, again, for folks who are not sure whether they qualify or perhaps they were denied in the past, well, perhaps now you may be eligible for the Westchester County portion of the benefit. Definitely come forward. We can work with you and see what you're qualified for. The county has also decided that irrespective of where you serve within Westchester County, we can grant a firefighter exemption, okay, for the county bill. So that's something worth noting. And Briarcliff School District adopted the firefighter and ambulance worker, the volunteer exemption. That's something that happened quite recently. We just received the information on that. And in other news, Ossining has been invited to the Westchester County GIS user group meeting to present its property information portal, its equitable property values page. So on the assessor's homepage, if you found yourself out there in the last 6 to 8 months, you would have seen a link where you can interact with your assessment data in ways that we hadn't really, had before. I encourage people who haven't done it yet to go ahead and take a look. But we will be presenting this to the larger GIS community at Purchase in May. So we felt very honored to be asked to participate in that conference. I thought I'd share that with you. That is all I have for this evening.
As always, we appreciate your thorough and concise explanation of all things. Okay, as always, we appreciate your thorough and concise explanation of these complicated topics. Those little yellow postcards are important to all of our seniors, so if you are a senior, know a senior, please do bring it to them. They have until May 1st to come and talk to the office about what they are eligible for. They do need to bring proof of their income with them. Just reiterating that. And the new assessment from Tyler, you've been working really hard all year, a little more than a year. And I appreciate all the work that's gone into it and all of the details that they've been providing by, you know, from the digital images to the real in-depth look into the neighborhoods. But to the public, that doesn't mean that, you know, they didn't get something wrong. They do a very thorough job. It's our third time doing it, so it should be pretty accurate. But if you have any questions at all, contact Mike's office, the assessment's office, and talk with them about your numbers, and they'll explain to you how they got them. So anyway, Mike, I really appreciate it. Thank you for representing Ossining so well, presenting at the conference, and we appreciate you.
You, Supervisor Feldman and the rest of the members. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Bless you. No,
Anybody else?
no, keep up the great work, Mike. Thank you.
Always a
Thank you.
great job.
I appreciate that.
Mike.
Have a good evening. Yes.
Just saying thank you.
Okay, next we have supervisor and town board announcements.
Okay. The town of Ossining has been recognized as a tree city for the 26th year in a row by the Arbor Day Foundation. This award recognizes our commitment to growing and maintaining the trees in our parks, forests, streets, and anywhere we control. We'll be working toward getting that award again next year. In honor of Women's History Month, town historian Caroline Curvan is running Local Legends, a celebration of women's history. This exhibit showcases 20 local women who made significant contributions to our community and our world. The event will be running for the entirety of March at the Ossining Public Library. For more information, please visit OssiningHistoryOnTheRun.com. The town and village have partnered with the military tribute banners to create and we will be creating and printing custom banners, as you saw last year, honoring our service members all along our roads. The custom banners will be displayed from Memorial Day through Veterans Day. For additional details or to order a banner, please contact village historian Joyce Sherrock Cole at historian@villageofossining.org. This weekend, March 21st and 22nd, Bethany Arts Community will be performing Praise Project. This original dance theater performance will be starting at 7 p.m. both nights. Visit www.bethanyarts.org for tickets. Author Marshall Fine and comedian Robert Klein will be having a discussion on Marshall's first novel, The Autumn of Ruth Winters, on Wednesday, March 26th at 7 p.m. in the Boudars Theater in the Ossining Public Library. Thursday, March 27th, Mike Risco Music will be hosting a book signing plus a meet and greet with Lon Ballinger. He is the author of Party Boys as well as the co-founder of Webster Hall, New York City. This is a free event, however, space is limited, so an RSVP will be required. For more information or to register, please call 914-762-8757. Ossining Summer Camp registration is open. This camp runs from June 30th through August 8th. For more information regarding prices and registration, please visit villageofossining.org. Click on Recreation. On Saturday, March 29th, the Ossining Boat and Canoe Club will be hosting the boating safety course. This course meets the New York State requirements for boat license and personal watercraft operator license. For additional information or to register, please contact Fox Fitzpatrick at cgauxfitz@hotmail.com. Registration for Muscoot Farms summer camps are currently open. Go to parks.westchestergov.com for more information on how to register. Westchester County is running a free tax prep program currently running until April 15th. This program is open at 9 different locations, including our very own Ossining High School and the Joseph G. Caputo Community Center. For more information, please call 1-800-899-1479. Neighbors Link is a great source of information and community resources for our immigrant population. Please visit their website, www.neighborslink.org, or click resources to attend or register for informational webinars about knowing your rights in both English and Spanish, and to find contact information for trusted professionals. The New York State Attorney General has released a list of resources with the goal of protecting the rights of all New Yorkers, regardless of immigration status. For more information, please visit ag.ny.gov/resources/individuals/immigrants-rights. As always, our Ossining Public Library is hosting many events, including movies, craft events, meditation, tutoring, yoga, book clubs, and more. Please see the website at ossininglibrary.org for more information. The LGBTQ plus Community Center has everything from events and programs to resources and presentations, all dedicated to providing support to everyone who is part of the LGBTQ plus community, including many virtual and in-person support groups and on a multitude of different topics. Please check out their website at loftgaycenter.org for more information. And I did notice that the Ossining High School is having their play. It's the Addams Family. Starting tomorrow, there are plays tomorrow at 4 o'clock and over the weekend. Please check out the high school webpage for more information. Any of my colleagues have anything? Thank you.
Liaison reports. Okay. Is there anybody from the public who would like to comment on any of the agenda items tonight? Seeing no one, moving on to board resolutions. Resolution Metro North Earth Day Agreement. Be it resolved, the town supervisor hereby authorized to enter into a short-term parking permit for the Metropolitan Transportation Authority and Metro North Commuter Railroad Company to allow the town to utilize 112 parking spaces in the Metro North Ossining Parking Facility for the Earth Day Festival to be held on April 26, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Soundman.com LLC resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with YourSoundman.com LLC, Pleasant Valley, New York, for sound services for the 2025 River Jam Concert Series. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contract River Jam Summer Concert Series musical performers. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes the Recreation and Park Superintendent Bill Garrison to sign an agreement with musical performers for the 2025 Summer River Jam Summer Concert Series. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contract Summer Concert Series 2025 Greater Ossining Chamber of Commerce Incorporated. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes the supervisor to sign an agreement with the Greater Ossining Chamber of Commerce Incorporated, 109 Cortlandt Avenue, Ossining, New York, 10562, for the administration of the 2025 Food Truck Fridays event and marketing of 2025 summer events to include Food Truck Fridays, Summer Concert Series, and fireworks celebration for Independence Day. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there anybody from the public who would like to address the board on issues not related to the agenda but are relevant to the common good of the town? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to adjourn into the work session, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then our first topic for tonight is a presentation from the Sing Sing Prism using walking tours.
You gotta go to the mic. Yeah. Thank you. Moving forward. Which document?
I sent a few weeks ago that outlined all of the issues relative to the
I did not.
request.
I am sorry.
Um, Okay,
I figured you would be giving a presentation. on this, at least.
my name's Amy Huffnagel, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Sing Sing Prison Museum. I'm actually the only full-time employee of the project, although we have 5 other people who work on the project in various capacities. I think you moved off the first slide. There we go. I just wanted to share that the team is a strong team and made up of museum professionals and people who are justice impacted and work in Sing Sing in a variety of ways. So I assume maybe you all know about the project. It's been in dialogue for many, many years, right? We are slated to begin opening this year in 2025. So it's a slow roll of many phases. That starts the first phase in April, where we'll start launching 3 days a month of walking tours. And that's why I'm here today. But I just wanted to give you a little snapshot, if you could just walk through. And yeah, so. Oh.
Yeah.
So I was gonna start by just showing you, we're just gonna let this go and then. Actually, if you could just please go back to slide number 3 and just let it roll. I'll just talk really carefully and quickly and then we will move on. I want to get some visuals in front of people, right? We are opening a facility that's in the Olive Opera House. We are in design phase for the component that takes you inside to Sing Sing. You can just put it in slideshow mode and just, yeah, from there, just. I don't know if you all have been following the news, but it's a very intense situation and in need certainly of some public interpretation, because it's very hard to sort of understand the complexity of the issues of what's happening in New York State prisons right now. You can advance. It's actually not moving. This is a cutout of the Opera House and downstairs and upstairs galleries, and then continue to the next slide. So here are some images of the walking tour that we piloted in September of last year for 4 days. We ran tours of 25 people. They were sold out and incredibly popular, great surveys, and we went into redesign mode after that to then launch this next phase. We have permission from the facility to go in actually to the water treatment plant and then into the edge of Sing Sing. So the route tour is from the boathouse along the edge of the river and into the water treatment facility and then back out. So the reason that I wanted to I opened a conversation with Liz and with the town is that, and Bill Garrison, is that we just wanted to make sure we were doing all of the correct steps to run a tour in the park. And where it came down at Bill's recommendation was that we would reserve a picnic table area for each of the 3 days of the month that we're running the tours, pay the $75, and then have a reserved sign for this reflective art activity that happens at the end of the tour. And I had said, Bill, can you strike a deal for me where we pay the $75 on the Saturday and Sunday, but on the Monday we get to use the park for free, rather than having to pay those fees for all 3 days, and that we would lock in and make a deal and a payment to whoever I make the payment to, based on the whole season, which would be 3 days a month: April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and November. So I think that's the real ask today is, can we make that exception to the policy and the rule? I want to contribute to the park. I want to contribute to, supporting the park and the maintenance of the park. And I think that the tour is going to bring a lot of activity to the park and to Ossining. It's already starting to do that. And again, we are going in to this launch of this program as the lead stage sponsor for Ossining Earth Day. At the $5,000 level, we're supporting that and tabling and going to really roll out the tours on that day. But I think we're sort of approaching community-based programming and community collaboration in the truest manner that you can. So I'd love to hear any questions or concerns or ideas from you all about how to potentially move this idea forward.
I have a separate question. I'm just curious, what is the art project that they're doing in this picture?
Great question. So it's always hard to describe art rather than do art, but we had a justice impacted woman as a fellow last summer. And my assignment to her was to help us create an interactive art activity at the end of the tour where we do all the sort of discussion and conversation that would move the conversation from being about the philosophy of crime and punishment and the history of incarceration in the United States to how does this impact me? So the activity is a combination of mazes created by an incarcerated man inside. He made this crazy book of mazes. And then a Hudson River School painting with a timeline created in the middle of the painting. And what people do is they write, let's say, 5 to 7 really profound moments of their own life. Then we give them cloud. And we ask them to put the black cloud down on their personal timeline in a way that would have the least impact. And this black cloud equals a 20 to 25-year sentence, which is a kind of typical length of time that people are sentenced for. And the response is, I wouldn't have my life if I had to remove that amount of time from it and that level of sort of empathy that emerges out of that moment. There are all
Excellent.
sorts of conversations that happen too. So the tour will always be led by 2 people. And this activity in particular, always led by someone who is previously incarcerated.
Excellent.
Thanks. Well, in the pilot, we ran 4 tours a day, 25 people on each tour, and every single one sold out 2 months before we ran.
Oh, awesome. Great. Yeah. And you're a nonprofit organization,
We
right?
sure are.
Yeah.
We have,
Rain or shine.
we'll do it rain or shine. I mean, I come from a background of New York State parks. So I have a hat that I put on, which is about liability and safety of my visitors. And we cancel tours, awful weather or dangerous weather, but otherwise they'll run. This program is fully underwritten by a funder for the next 4 years as we launch this. So it's pretty amazing. We have support from a major nationally known funder to do this work.
You are not.
We are a not-for-profit.
Can we join you for a tour?
I would love that. Right now, I could add you, we've only launched the tickets online if you want to pay the $15 through June, because I want to be able to retool if I need to fix anything. But I'd also comp you on any tour.
So we're just looking for eight
Okay.
Mondays for the year?
Right, I'm just wondering if we should, because it takes a couple, if we should, you don't really need a barbecue. So if we should set aside a separate area. Or you were talking about the area at the end. So
Yeah,
do you have a
location-
preferred area or?
I mean, this area that we did was right up against the edge of the fence, where then from that picnic table on what's on my right-hand side, sort of up against the fence where the canoes or kayaks are stored, you can see them there, and then you're at the facility. That's a great location for us, but honestly, I'd be happy anywhere in the park. And of course, if it's an extra table added that doesn't take away picnics from families, totally amazing.
Sure, we can arrange. Have another table brought down.
Yeah, I don't think the demand on a Monday.
No,
That-
Mondays.
It's really
Sundays.
Sundays, yeah.
We have to work with the,
Bill Garrison, yes.
yeah,
Yep.
so the camps that go down there, utilize the space. We just have to work around that.
Great.
It's a possibility during the camp season that we'll be juggling space and you may be in a different area,
No
away
problem.
from where the kids utilize the spray park.
Yeah, we don't want to go anywhere near the spray park.
Okay, since we do not allow people to charge in our park unless we have a specific arrangement, we get to talk to Christie about that
Yep.
for a little bit.
Just a couple of months ago, the town board adopted a local law that says that if a not-for-profit comes before the town board and makes a request that they want to be able to utilize the park, that will result in accruing funds for the not-for-profit purpose, that the town board can authorize it.
Can authorize it.
Can, yes.
Yeah.
So it's discretionary.
Great. And I think it's really fair to say that at the $15 a person level with funding from a foundation, we are not making money. We are covering our operating expenses. Just thought I'd make that.
Oh, that's it. Good.
Amy, thank you so much for
Great.
coming, and I'm glad that you had a chance to. You can leave that if
Yeah,
you
if you
want, if
want.
you can. I'm sure everybody's gonna wanna look at that.
Mhm.
I did forward that email. Sorry about that. But I had one question about your, one of the slides, though. The bookstore will stay where it is?
Stay where it is.
Okay,
And the museum will be running our museum store out of the bookstore. So we really do consider it to be an amazing partner and an amazing way to drive visitors into a business in town.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, just. We're all good. All right, yeah, catch up with me tomorrow and then we'll work with Bill Garrison on the numbers. Thank you for coming.
Great. Thank you for coming.
What we should do is put a resolution on for next
All right,
week,
yeah,
just
okay.
memorializing it
Sounds
because
good.
this is the first time the board's going to be acting under this new authority. So I think we should set the standard that if the standard is they have to come before the town board, then the town board should formally approve it. That's my opinion.
Gotcha. I agree.
Agree. Thank you, Chris. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, thanks for letting me speak. So my name's Melissa Hoffman. I'm an organizer with Food and Water Watch. We're an organization fighting to protect our water, food, and climate. We're also working to resist the threat of fossil fuel expansion in New York. And I appreciate your time. Can I get the slide? Okay. You can go to the next one. So tonight I'm talking about Project Maple. This is a proposed fracked gas pipeline expansion by the company Enbridge. They're formerly known as Spectra. And I want to share how Austining can help stop it. This project poses serious risks to our health, climate, and our wallets. We have the power to protect our community from toxic pollution and rising utility costs by opposing it. So what is it? Project Maple is Enbridge's proposed expansion of the Algonquin Incremental Pipeline, or AIM. It began operation in 2017. It crosses through Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam counties. In this map up there, you can see it starts down by Ramapo and it goes up and ends at the Southeast Compressor Station, at least the New York portion. It goes through New Jersey all the way up through Maine. It delivers gas to New England, not New York. The expansion would include building new compressor stations and expanding fracked gas infrastructure, contributing to air pollution, worsening climate change, and contradicting New York's Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. This project will increase the amount of gas being pushed through the pipeline, primarily transporting gas to New England and not New York. You can go to the next slide. This is just another map of the pipeline. The green boxes, Stony Point and Southeast, those are where current compressor stations are in New York. Stony Point is the closest one to us, and they are likely going to expand compression at the Ramapo location. So if we're serious about addressing climate change, we need to transition away from fossil fuels as quickly as possible. Governor Hochul's Department of the Environmental Conservation recently approved an expansion of the Iroquois pipeline, which includes new compressor stations in Athens and Dover. These are just an hour north of the Algonquin pipeline. Compressor stations are a major source of air pollution. They emit methane, nitrogen oxide, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, benzene, and formaldehyde, all of which contribute to respiratory problems, heart disease, and reduced life expectancy. At the federal level, Trump is gutting regulations that protect us from pollution, such as clean water protections and restrictions on greenhouse gas emissions. He withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Agreement despite the environmental disasters that New York has faced in recent years. This past fall, we saw wildfires that spread across the Hudson Valley, Catskills, and New York City like never before. And Austining, like other towns along the Hudson River, faces the threat of sea level rise, which could increase by up to 10 inches by 2030. So the urgency of climate action in New York is clear. And one way we can resist these rollbacks and protect New York from the growing threat of climate change is by passing municipal resolutions urging our governor to oppose fossil fuel expansions. Stopping projects like Project Maple not only addresses climate change, but also protects New Yorkers from rising utility costs. Utility companies like Con Edison are pushing for outrageous rate hikes. These rate increases will hurt New Yorkers. Utility companies are raising rates to fund new fossil fuel infrastructure, and yet we, the ratepayers, will bear the cost without reaping any of the benefits. That's because the gas transported through the pipeline isn't even for us. It's passing through New York to supply New England. With Con Ed's proposed rate hikes, many New Yorkers who live paycheck to paycheck simply won't be able to afford these increases. And Project Maple isn't the only economic and climate threat New Yorkers are facing, but stopping it can make sure it's the last. President Trump is pressuring Governor Hochul to approve dirty fossil fuel infrastructure in New York. He wants to revive the Constitution pipeline. This is a pipeline that New York blocked by denying it air permits in 2020. But Trump is trying to bring it back. And if he forces this project through, it would cut through the southern tier and western Catskills regions of New York, polluting communities with toxic gas and undermining our climate goals. Trump's efforts to push fossil fuel projects through undermine our state's progress on climate action. We cannot allow new fossil fuel infrastructure to be built if we are to meet the goals of the state climate law. which requires ambitious mandates to cut back greenhouse gas emissions. We must move towards 100% renewable energy in New York as quickly as possible. Expanding fossil fuel infrastructure like Project Maple directly contradicts these goals. Governor Hochul must follow the law and reject this project. You can move to the next slide. So in some good news, Project Maple is still in the early stages, so we have time to stop it. Once it moves forward, Enbridge will need permits from federal and state agencies. The city of Peekskill has already passed a municipal resolution opposing the project, and we also had over 60 local officials sign on to a letter urging the governor and state legislators to oppose the Maple fracked gas expansions. And Hastings-on-Hudson is voting on a resolution tonight as we speak. So to reiterate, fossil fuel companies like Enbridge will pass on the cost of new pipelines and compressor stations to ratepayers who will bear the burden of increased pollution and utility rates. So how bad is the pollution from pipelines anyway? Well, air quality is already a concern in Westchester County, which holds a D rating from the American Lung Association. Adding more polluting infrastructure will only make it worse, especially for Black and Brown communities that often have to bear the brunt of environmental justice. Pipelines like the AIM pipeline are prone to leaks, and increasing gas flow will heighten that risk. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas that can linger in the atmosphere much longer than carbon dioxide. Compressor stations emit ozone and smog-forming pollution that is linked to asthma, respiratory illness, low birth weight, and certain cancers. This pipeline doesn't respect municipal boundaries. It will impact counties beyond the pipeline route. So it's crucial that we can make a statement early to ensure that Enbridge knows we will fight this project every step of the way. You can do the next slide. Through a coalition of organizations and support from elected officials, we have successfully blocked other fossil fuel projects before by organizing early, like the Dan Scammer and the Gowanus fracked gas expansions. We need to do the same with Project Maple. We are working with a coalition of groups like Food and Water Watch, New York Communities for Change, Indivisible, and elected officials like Nikki Armacost and Assembly Member Dana Levenberg. Passing a resolution to stop Project Maple and the Constitution Pipeline here in Austining can make a statement that New Yorkers don't want to pay the cost of expensive, dirty energy that isn't even for us. Let's make sure we stand together to protect our communities, our pockets, and our climate. And that's all.
Thank you. And I will say, thank Dana's office for putting us in touch with you, so that you can come and talk to the board. I'm not a fan of fracking for a whole bunch of reasons. I think it's horrible for the environment and poisons water supplies and a whole host of other challenges. So expanding pipelines to encourage more of it is not something I'm in favor of. But the thing that I really don't like about this particular one or this particular location is it's over a fault line under electrical wires. Like, I don't think that's a place for a gas pipeline, is to put it where there could be an earthquake, like on a fault line under electrical wires. I feel like that's just not a good mix. So even if I liked gas expansion, I still don't feel like this is the place for it in my mind. So I am happy to write a letter.
Is it crossing the Hudson?
It's crossing.
Is it
the
expected
Hudson,
to cross the Hudson?
right
It's
under
going
the-
from
right under
Stony
the
Point
lines,
From Stony
in the
Point.
easement, which is right
Right
under
at Bear
the-
Mountain
under the
area?
You want to
electrical-
go back to the map, maybe?
onto the, onto the Indian Point property. If that's where you want it.
Did you say there's a resolution? Is there like a template resolution that you guys?
Yes, I
They
can,
did send us a template.
yeah, I can send you any information you need, but there's a template resolution that Peekskill already passed and Hastings is passing tonight.
And at the municipal officials meeting, a lot of municipalities were also looking at it.
Is this
above ground? Above, no, it's below ground. Yeah, the only parts of the pipeline that you can see are where the compressor stations are. That's also where the most pollution happens.
Yeah, Peekskill in particular, feels like their disadvantaged community gets an awful lot of, they have the garbage burning plant there.
Mhm.
Indian Point was there for years.
Yeah, and this
They are not in
pipeline is,
favor of
goes right through Indian Point, which also raises other risks.
Less
So-
risks, but still risks.
Well, the fuel rods are still there, right? So.
Yeah, so if there's any.
Rise risks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it could still cause some issues.
Any other questions? Thank you so much for coming to present today.
Yeah, thank you for
Appreciate it. I think
having
you
me.
explained it a lot better than I would have been able.
Oh,
to.
good, good. Thank you, and I'll be back
Okay,
for
so
All
we
Saints
will,
Earth Day.
talk with our Christie.
Well, you provided a.
Yeah,
draft
and we'll
resolution,
just-
so the board can
Yes.
discuss whether or not they want to entertain it at their meeting next week.
Perfect.
Great.
All
So we'll
right.
look at it next week.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
so
Okay,
much.
great. Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
rest of your night.
So that's it for this evening. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And hope everybody happy spring. By the time I see you, it will be officially spring. Yay. That's not for this. And all right, have a good evening. We'll see you on the
25th, yes, and then we just need a motion to adjourn.
25th.
So moved.
Second.
Executive
Executive.
session.
Sorry. Adjourn to
Executive
exec-
Whoa. Hey now.
Second.
Good try.
So moved.
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Then check your hand.
Good try.
Yeah, I was.